Hey Eli, how's it going? Thanks for finally getting back to me about that ally code. I remember a while ago you actually made your Patreon donation, but wanted me to hold off with the review until you had some stuff sorted out. So I guess it's that time. Let's get into it. Um, Man, I have the last 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks since you first made that donation, and I was trying to get that ally code. There's been so many more, and I just do not have time for them. So thanks to the support, man. I'm happy to get this back to you. I just got home, so I'm doing this literally as soon as humanly possible. I'll hop into ships first, just in case. I'll outline everything. I'll go over ships. I'll do an overview. I'll go squad by squad breakdown, talk about farming, then GAC, then mods. Should be about, well, I guess you're going to know by the time that you click on the video, but it should be about 25, maybe 30 minutes. The Patreon Rust reviews usually go. Oops, got a little bit of lag here. Sorry about that. All right, so you have the Relic Vader, which is why your TIE Advance is super high up. Your home one is your weakest capital ship. I'm a huge fan of home one, not going to lie. You don't have the bounty hunter ships because obviously this is a free-to-play account and ships are hard to get, but home one, if you happen to have the Millennium Falcon, is just my favorite ship for GAC because it's got 70 banner potential. I mean, like just today in 2.5 million GP, I got like 69 banners on the live stream. So I prefer home one over endurance, over executrix, and any of that stuff. But we have to recognize that you don't really have the ships for it at the moment. Right now, what I would say you should farm is I hope you're farming Django, so you'll get that Houndstooth up. But I would go for the ETA, the Anakin Starfighter, because this man does a ton of damage. And you always go up against you always go up against Houndstooth, and that buff immunity is kind of the only way at these low levels to really get around a powerful Houndstooth. I'm sure you've noticed that your Houndstooth is super effective at this point in the game, so having this guy strong enough to survive through the battle, do big damage, and then apply that buff immunity onto the opponent's Houndstooth is going to be very crucial. I also would recommend getting Ahsoka up as like the second priority for ship, so it would be like Anakin, then Ahsoka, and then Houndstooth you'll be farming with Django anyway, so he'll get up with no extra hassle. But when you bring Ahsoka in as a reinforcement, she dispels all buffs, which is useful. Maybe if you don't have the breach from the opponent's Houndstooth, but they're still taunting, if you bring in that Ahsoka, it will dispel it. And if not, her middle ability will dispel it and do big damage against highly buffed enemies. So basically, ships at this point in the game, sub 1 million to even like 1.5 million GP, is all about basically figuring out how to get around that Houndstooth, because that Houndstooth is an early game nightmare. So I would say Anakin and Ahsoka are probably your best bets to combat opposing Houndstooth. Right now, I'm sure you're probably using the Executrix. It doesn't look like you have anything for the Chimera just yet, but yeah, just use the Executrix for now. If you start to happen to progress towards those bounty hunter ships to get that Millennium Falcon, I would recommend starting to get that home one up a little bit. Just get Akbar to like gear 8 or something like that. It takes forever to get these ships up because you have to wait for the actual event. So you're not in really a big, huge hurry when it comes to the capital ships, but that's just something to think about. The TIE Advance is probably doing most of the damage for you at this point since it's your only relic character. The TIE Advance takes forever. I still have mine at 6 stars, and I've been farming it since I started farming ships, so that will take forever. You shouldn't need to worry about that too much. Let's hop in. Excuse me. I'm going to take a quick overview before I break everything down. Let me know. Actually, I'll probably just message you after I make this video. What your resource... Actually, I'll just message you right now. I'm going to ask you what's your credit situation look like. All right, I'll just wait for you to get back to me before I talk about credits. But basically what I'm talking about credits is there's certain characters that should go higher in level as opposed to others. Like, you don't need Zeb and Ezra and Boba and Hera and Geonosian Soldier and all these guys. I would say Bastila Shan, Padme, Anakin, General Kenobi, Jolie Bindo. Those guys, if you have the credits, nice. Big fan. Let me actually, since I've done all of this, let me just break this down. Let me just skip forward into Jedi because most of your neglected characters happen to be in the Jedi faction. I don't know how many credits you have. I just messaged you. Eventually, you'll get back to me. If not, we can talk about it on Discord in the Patreon chat. But try to get Bastila Shan up to level 85. Try to get Anakin up to 85, General Kenobi up to 85, Jolie up to 85, maybe even Ahsoka up to 85. These guys are going to be very useful in GAC, and having them low like this is going to put you at a huge disadvantage. These are the guys that you should be farming right off the bat when you first start out, so you're already at a slight disadvantage as opposed to people who may be more streamlined in their GAC. Now, at Division 11 and Division 10, where you're at right now, it's not going to be a huge deal because lots of people just don't know what they're doing. So you're probably having a grand old time just beating up guys who have no idea what they're doing. But if you come across those players who are really streamlined, you're going to be at a massive disadvantage not having a select number of characters really having your resources focused into them. So I'd say for right now, all of your resources should be focused into Bastila Shan, Jedi Knight Anakin, General Kenobi, Ahsoka, Jolie, and Padme. Let me actually go over to Galactic Republic. So yeah, where's your Padme? Padme, get her up to 85 as soon as possible. If you have Zetas, spend them on her. Go 2 on Padme right now, then get the Anakin Zeta. I'll talk about Zetas. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Too much information flowing through my brain at the moment. Don't worry, I'll get to all of it. But yeah, they should all be level 85. They're your most important characters at the moment. So I'm just gonna break this down from top to bottom. Bounty Hunters looking nice. Get Boba and Jango up to level 85. It just helps out a little bit. And then, yeah, do you have... Actually, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. So much information flowing through my noggin at the moment. Okay, so you do have your Chewbacca. I'll talk about that later. Don't worry. Bounty Hunters, get them up to just get them all gear 11. At this point, gear 11, you can 3-man lots of teams. You have the leadership Zeta. At least I hope it's a leadership Zeta. Yeah. You have the leadership Zeta on Bosk, so you'll be able to get 62 banners against opponents. And at Division 10, if you get one battle at 62 banners, your opponents are basically screwed. And that's you also have other teams that get high banners, so you're going to be in a really good position with your Bounty Hunters if you get them eventually up to a gear 11 at this point. Clones you don't really need to worry much about. Droids also, maybe C-3PO, Chewie, or whatever, 3PO and Chewie. I hate this guy's name. It's just a pain. Maybe him too for your CLS team, just because he is pretty viable. Obviously, Darth Vader soloing. Okay, you're Division 10, right? So you need 3 offensive teams, 3 defensive teams. So Vader solo is obviously going to be one of them. Let me just... Galactic Republic's looking there. Do you have Brood? You do. Okay. Do you have any imps? Not really. Jedi. Let me just quickly remember what you got going on here. Okay. OR, not much. Rebels, I think you have... Yeah, you have CLS, 3PO, Chewbacca, Han Solo. Honestly, like I tell everyone, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Commander Luke, that's just a team right there. You don't need to throw in the 3PO and Chewie unless you're punching up. And at Division 10, I don't imagine you'll come across many teams that you can't beat with those 3 guys. But if there's ever doubt, maybe throw in that 3PO and Chewie. So you have... I would say your offense, your 3-team offense, should consist of your CLS trio of Commander Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, your Darth Vader solo, and some sort of Bastila Shan-led Jedi team. Definitely with Yoda, but probably just with Yoda, to be honest. So that's going to look like your Rebels under CLS, you get 62 banners. Sorry, you're typing. If I stop randomly, it's because I'm reading you have 4 million credits. Okay, yeah. Credits are hard to come by, and I understand they're hard to level up characters, but make sure your Chewbacca is level 85. Make sure your Jedi for your Padme team are level 85. I'm getting a little sidetracked. Okay, too much information. Let me just quickly reply to you. Don't worry, it'll all make sense at the end. I just have to collect my brain. I'll just stick to the breakdown for right now, and then I'll talk about GAC at the end. So if you've gotten to this point and you're confused, I'm spitting out so much random nonsense. Just keep listening. I promise it'll make sense. I meant to click this, separatists. Geos, put them on your front wall at this point. There's not really a lot of teams at Division 10 that can beat Geos. So throw them on your front top wall, protecting your ships. Sith is looking like that. And just for posterity, I gotta look at the Tuscans. Okay, you have one Tuscan. So you need 3 offensive teams, 3 defensive teams. Offensive teams should include Darth Vader Solo, CLS 3-man, which is Commander Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca. Make sure you get that Chewbacca up to 85. And then Bastila Shan, get her up to 85 as well. Bastila Shan and Grandmaster Yoda. You're going to use Darth Vader against... Well, this is probably what you're going to do. You're going to find the front wall. You're going to see a guy on the top, a guy on the bottom. Whichever one is the weakest, you're going to Jedi them. 2-man Jedi, you'll get 63 banners because of the protection up. Make sure you stick some gear into Bastila Shan and then into Yoda so that Bastila Shan doesn't die and Yoda hits nice and hard. Once you've taken out the other one, you're going to have 2 teams left. If your CLS team you think can beat that team, you're going to CLS it. If it's your opponent's best team, you're going to Darth Vader Solo. Okay? After the Darth Vader Solo is successful, you'll CLS whatever's on the back wall. If the CLS is successful, you'll Darth Vader whatever on the back wall. Jedi will get you 63. Vader will get you 64. CLS will get you 62. It's almost impossible for your opponent to beat that because you'll be placing your Geos on the front wall protecting your ships. So even if they have a team that can beat it, they still got to get perfect banners. They have to undersize the Geos, and undersizing Geos is hard without a Relict Vader, a Super Relict Padme, or a Traya team with the Traya Zeta. And people at this level probably won't have that because they haven't been playing that long. So they got to go against your front top Geonosian team, your bottom Padme team, once you get them all up, which is going to consist of Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka, General Kenobi, and honestly any other Galactic Republic you can find. Let me just quickly see what the best candidate is. Honestly, probably Shaak Ti, if you can get her up to level 85. I know the credits are a big crunch at this point. Oh, sorry, you just messaged me. Sorry, I just had to reply to you. Probably Shaak Ti, just because she's got the Dispel, so have 2 Dispels, so it'll make it annoying for your opponent to go against it if they're trying to bring in some sort of tank taunt team to get around the big damage. So it's likely your opponent's not going to beat your Geos. It's likely your opponent's not going to beat your Padme. But, and then on the back wall, you can honestly... I don't know, man. You can throw, like, anything back there, to be honest. It won't really matter. I'd say probably some sort of Phoenix team, since that's, like, what you have left. Actually, you know what? Here's a big brain strat. When you place your Padme on defense... Actually, never mind. I'm scrapping that idea. It would work, but it's too big brain. I haven't quite comprehended this idea yet, so I won't put it out there, but... Your backwall team, probably just put your whatever your next strongest team is, so probably Phoenix, because you have them pretty high up. Actually, maybe Bounty Hunters. Bounty Hunters will probably have good survivability on the back wall. Since you only need 3 offensive teams in Division 10, you don't really need to save your Bounty Hunters for offense to get those high banners, because CLS, Jedi, and Darth Vader are going to get those high banners for you anyway. See, that's a weird way. Oh, sorry, you're messaging me. He said, thanks. I'm really kind of stuck on what to go for, either Jedi Knight Revan or C-3PO. I feel Jedi Knight Revan. Okay, yeah, I'll talk about that in just a second. And finished up Bounty Hunters. I'm going to say, yeah, finish up. I'm going to say finish up Bossk and Jango. Sorry, you're messaging me right now. But the meta has really shifted with the Darth Vader rework. Bounty Hunters used to be... Sorry, I'm replying to your messages on Discord. bounty hunters used to be a lot more viable. I mean, they're still just as viable, but since there's a limited amount of teams you can use on offense, having that extra high banner team really made the difference for basically like all of eternity. But now that you have that Relic Darth Vader, not a lot of people are going to have like Relic Darth Vaders, but now that you do have that Relic Darth Vader, you can phase out some of the offensive teams. Like Vader basically phased out your Padme team, and CLS is going to phase out your Bounty Hunter team because they're just slightly more efficient, and that saves you some big juicy teams for the back wall and stuff like that. You're saying kind of inflated my GP by a lot before I knew not to gear up people that I don't. Yeah, I'm going to reply to you saying, I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm talking about leveling up. Good tunes. All right, so let's quickly... Oh yeah, you want to know what to farm. Definitely farm your Bosk up. Definitely farm your Django up. Definitely farm Basilishan. Definitely farm Anakin. Definitely farm Jolie. So I'd say do your 3 refreshes, your 350 crystal refreshes that everyone has to do every day. Go 5, do 1 sim through for Basila, 1 sim through for Anakin, a sim through for Django, and a sim through for Bosk. And then with the leftover energy that you accumulate throughout the day, sim through for Jolie. That's basically what I have Nikki Biggs doing at the moment. It's working fantastic for her. In terms of stars, she's basically where you are for those specific characters, only just at like 90 million, or not 90 million, 90,000 GP. Since you're pretty inflated with all of these other characters like Cad Bane and Greedo that you don't need in Luminara, Jedi Counselor. So yeah, I'd say get a Basilishan node in, get a Jedi Knight Anakin node in, get a Django, a Bosk node in. And then if you got the leftover energy, which you will, get in a Jolie farm, because Jolie takes forever. And then in fleets, basically same thing. Farm Basilishan till she's 7 stars. Farm Jolie till he's 7 stars. And then after Bosk finishes up and Django finishes up, which should be pretty quick, since they're accelerated rate characters. Sorry, I'm still replying to your messages on Discord. Once you get those characters up, since they're accelerated rate, they should be for farm. Once Django's 7 stars, gear him up to gear 11, gear 12. You can get that 7-star Padme pretty easily with Django. Pretty much solos the whole event. If you haven't seen my guide on that, basically, Newt Gunray and Django. Newt Gunray at gear 8, Django at gear 11, 12 if you're feeling a little bit bored and don't want to waste like 30 minutes of your life just refreshing the event. Because the Padme event's pretty easy. You just need Django. Django kills everyone, which is fantastic. But yeah, so once you get those guys out of the way, I'd probably say you're at a weird spot right now. I'd probably say farm Jedi Knight Revan after you get your bounty hunters up to 7 stars and your Jedi up to 7 stars. I'd probably say go for Jedi Knight Revan at that point, since you'll have your CLS, you'll have your bounty hunters, you'll have your other Jedi, you'll have your Galactic Republic Padme team. So it'll be pretty situated to go for a Jedi Knight Revan farm. You said just got GK and Chewie like 1 to 2 weeks ago and got Relic Vader yesterday. Oh, nice. I'm going to say, yeah, talking about GAC teams. I'm actually going to ask you right now, what GAC teams do you usually use? Let me just see what you say. Excuse me. Haven't gotten the Zeta ships challenges unlocked yet. Oh, you haven't. Okay. So you're saying CLS Vader solo. I hope you say Basilishan Jedi. Bounty Hunters. Okay. And then do you use Jedi on defense with Padme? Haven't lost yet this GC. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. I'm going to say, do you use Geo's top front wall with Padme? bottom front. Sorry for all this downtime. I'm just messaging you right now. Geos, Phoenix, and Padme on defense. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. Well, what do you do with... Oh, because your Bastila Shan's not leveled up. I was like, what do you do with your Jedi team? I'm just quickly going to reply saying, I'd say switch out bounty hunters with Bastila and Yoda 2-man on offense. Because I think that would, instead of the bounty hunter 3-man, which gets you 62 banners, the Jedi will get you 60 or 63 banners, which is only one banner better, but I mean, who doesn't love undersizing as much as humanly possible? All right, quickly while you message me back and forth here. Vader, basically, crit damage and potency, and some speed. Since he solos a lot, you want to have him fast. He never really takes damage, so having a bunch of extra protection is not necessarily a priority at this level. Eventually, having some extra protection is nice because you're going to get hit hard, but the purpose of Vader at this point in the meta is he goes in, he goes before anyone, he kills the entire team before they get to take a turn. So you want speed, you want crit damage, and you want potency, so he lands those debuffs so he can get those big hits with that Culling Blade on the strongest opponent. So you're saying you want me to gear up Bastila to what and go for a Jedi, right, Revan? Sorry. All right, so yeah, that's how I want Vader. Brood and all the Geos, you basically just want health and protections because they share it all. Bosk, you want them fast and tenacious. Tenacity could go higher. I know mods are RNG at this point, but speed, you want them quick. Same with Luke, you just want them fast, pretty much, and hits hard. Yeah, that's looking good. Sorry. I just messaged you saying I'll talk to you more about this after I finish the video because it's hard having like two separate brain waves going on right now. Same thing with Han, basically just crit damage. Yeah, big crit damage, a little bit of speed, some protection is good. Palp, you want 90 plus potency. 73 is all right at this point. Try to get him up to 90 potency. Yoda, basically offense, yeah. He looks, yeah, basically just offense. Boba, you also want fast. You want him slightly slower than Bosk, so Bosk can throw up his taunt first. Because you want it to go Bosk and then immediately after Boba, then immediately after Jango. You want them in that order. So let me quickly go down to your Jango and just see how he's looking. 207. I forgot what Boba was because I know Bosk is like 230, right? So you want your Boba to be slightly faster. The thinking behind this is Bosk will throw up a taunt. If there's a bunch of buffs on the field, Boba will execute getting rid of them and basically preparing an opponent to be murdered ruthlessly. Bosk will get his turn back because of his taunt. He has a Frenzy, I think it's called. I always forget the name of it. He'll throw it on the net, call the mass assist. Then Jango, rather, will go right after. He'll do his middle ability, big hit. If it doesn't kill someone, then Bosk gets his turn again. At that point, the opponent is going to be super weak, which means Bosk will auto-crit because he'll be the weakest opponent, and at that point, they're dead. So that just helps you get a guy out super quickly and gets you pretty far along in the boss contract. So that's how you want to mod your bounty hunters. Thrawn, you basically just want him as quick as humanly possible. Yeah, Thrawn's quick. Thrawn's more of a utility guy. He doesn't really have like a main team he's in. Bastila, she's not even modded, but you basically want her to have like health and protection. Padme, since you're not going to fight any Darth Revans, you want her... nice. You basically just want to slap a bunch of health on her and some speed. Once you fight Darth Revans, obviously you want her slower because she wants to go after all of those debuffs come out. Anakin, just have him hit super hard with some health. You just want General Kenobi to be like a tenacious tank. Obviously, he's not very high, so his stats won't be super boosted. Joe Lee, you also just want survivability on him when you get him up. And his, that looks pretty bad, Zeta is fantastic. I would definitely go for that as soon as he's like prepared. So now I'll just quickly talk about Zetas. Right now, in terms of priority, I'd say clearly throw the first 2 Zetas you get on Padme. Then, honestly, Joe Lee. Then probably Chewbacca, so that he can heal your CLS team, so you can continue to get lots of banners. And then go Anakin. Then I'd probably say Yoda, so we can pass all those buffs around. Then save a Zeta for Cup, pretty much. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that'll be a pretty long farm for you since you haven't opened the Zeta farm up anyway. So those are the Zetas that I'd probably go for this specific account in chronological order. Let me quickly think, have I missed anything? I don't think so, but obviously, if there's something that you think that I missed, I mean, you're messaging me right now, so obviously I'm open for the patrons 24/7. They're the only alerts that I actually have set up to make noise and to show a banner, so I'll always see them. And honestly, they wake me up in the middle of the night. Like one of the patrons, James, shout out James if you're watching this video, if this video ever goes on YouTube. James is, I think, British, but he starts school when I go to bed. So whenever he messages me, it wakes me up in the middle of the night and I get back to him. I don't sleep anyway, so it's not really a huge deal, but obviously if you need anything, just hit me up. And if I miss anything, let me know, and I'll see you later.